Welcome back to Book Summaries channel. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by a never-ending to-do list, today's book is the ultimate cure for your procrastination. We are breaking down Eat That Frog by Tracy, a legendary guide that reveals 21 practical ways to stop procrastinating and get more done in less time. The foundation of high productivity starts with absolute clarity regarding your goals. Most people struggle with procrastination because they are fuzzy about what they are actually trying to achieve. To set the table, you must follow a 7-step process that begins with deciding exactly what you want. Writing your goals down on paper is a critical step because it crystallizes your thoughts and creates a sense of commitment. Once a goal is written, you should set a deadline and make a list of everything you need to do to achieve it. Organizing this list into a plan provides you with a visual roadmap of your journey. You must then take immediate action on your plan to build momentum. Doing something every single day that moves you toward your major goal ensures consistent progress. Clarity is the most important concept in personal productivity, acting as a fuel for your motivation. When you know exactly what your frog is, it becomes much easier to eat it first thing in the morning. Every minute spent in planning saves as many as 10 minutes in execution. Your mind is your most powerful tool, and planning acts as the blueprint for your daily success. You should always work from a list, creating it the night before so your subconscious mind can work on it while you sleep. Start with a master list for everything you want to do in the future, then break it down into monthly, weekly, and daily lists. By checking off items as you complete them, you trigger a release of dopamine that keeps you motivated throughout the day. This systematic approach allows you to track your progress and feel a sense of accomplishment. Planning prevents you from reacting to the loudest demands and keeps you focused on your most important tasks. It reduces the stress of uncertainty and gives you a clear starting point each morning. Disciplined planning ensures that you are always working on the activities that offer the greatest rewards. Remember that the better the plan, the easier it is to overcome the temptation to procrastinate. The Pareto principle states that 20% of your activities will account for 80% of your results. In terms of your tasks, this means that 2 items out of 10 are usually worth more than the other 8 put together. Most people fall into the trap of clearing the decks by doing the small, easy tasks first, which is a form of productive procrastination. You must resist the urge to clear up small things, and instead focus your energy on the top 20% of your list. These high-value tasks are often the most difficult and complex, but they offer the greatest potential impact on your career. Eating the biggest frog first ensures that you are spending your time where it truly counts. Before you begin any task, ask yourself if it is in the top 20% of your activities. Successful people discipline themselves to ignore the trivial many and focus on the vital few. By consistently focusing on these high-impact tasks, you dramatically increase your overall output. Your ability to choose between the significant and the insignificant is the key to your success. Successful people have a clear sense of future orientation and consider the long-term consequences of their actions. Your most important tasks are those that have the greatest potential positive consequences for your life and work. Conversely, unimportant tasks have few or no consequences, regardless of whether you do them or not. Before starting any activity, evaluate its impact by asking, what are the potential consequences of doing or not doing this task? High-performing individuals are willing to delay short-term gratification for long-term rewards. Thinking about the future allows you to prioritize tasks that will help you reach your ultimate destination. Procrastination often stems from focusing on the immediate difficulty of a task rather than its eventual benefit. By keeping the long-term goal in mind, you find the strength to tackle difficult chores immediately. The more significant the consequence, the higher the priority the task should receive. This perspective helps you stay focused on the frogs that will actually move the needle in your career. Since you cannot do everything, You must learn to procrastinate on purpose. Creative procrastination is the act of thoughtfully deciding which tasks you will not do right now, or perhaps ever. Most people procrastinate unconsciously on their most important tasks, which leads to failure. Instead, you should consciously choose to procrastinate on low-value activities that consume your time but offer little reward. This involves saying no to anything that is not a high-priority use of your time. By deliberately pushing aside the tadpoles, you create the mental and physical space required to eat your frogs. Review your schedule regularly to identify tasks that can be delegated or eliminated entirely. Your time is limited, so you must be ruthless in how you allocate it. Strategic neglect is a hallmark of high achievers who understand that they can't be all things to all people. Focus your best energy on the few things that can make a real difference. Making a stop-doing list is just as important as your to-do list. The ABCDE method is a powerful priority-setting technique that you should use every day. Start by listing everything you have to do, and then place one of these letters next to each item. Tasks are frogs, things you must do because they have serious consequences. B tasks are things you should do, but they only have mild consequences. C tasks are nice to do, but have no consequences at all, like grabbing coffee with a coworker. D tasks are those you can delegate to someone else to free up more of your time. E tasks are things you should eliminate altogether as they no longer add value. If you have multiple A tasks, rank them as A1, A2, and so on. Never do a B task when an A task is left undone. This simple system forces you to think through your priorities before you start working. It ensures that you are always working on your most valuable assignment at any given moment. Every job can be broken down into 5 to 7 key result areas that determine your success. A key result area is something for which you are completely responsible, and that is essential for your organization. You must identify these areas and give yourself a grade from 1 to 10 in each. Your weakest key result area acts as a ceiling on how high you can go in your career. Procrastination often occurs in areas where we feel inadequate or unskilled. By focusing on improving your weakest skill, you remove the primary obstacle to your productivity. You should ask your boss or colleagues what they believe your key result areas are to gain clarity. Once identified, dedicate yourself to becoming excellent in each of these specific categories. Continuous improvement in these areas ensures that you remain valuable and highly productive. Don't let a lack of skill in one area hold back your entire potential. Excellence is a journey, and mastering your key result areas is the fastest way to get there. The law of 3 suggests that there are always 3 core tasks that contribute 90% of the value you bring to your work. To identify these, ask yourself, if I could only do one thing on this list all day, which one would add the most value? Then ask, if I could do only 2 things, what would the second be? And finally find the third. Once you have identified these 3 big frogs, your job is to focus on them almost exclusively. This radical focus prevents you from being distracted by the hundreds of minor tasks that clutter a typical workday. Achieving mastery in these 3 areas will make you one of the most productive people in your field. Most people are busy but not productive because they are working on the other 97% of tasks. By dedicating your best hours to the big 3, you maximize your contribution to your company. This chapter encourages you to simplify your work life to amplify your results. Discipline yourself to start with these 3 and stay with them until they are finished. Mastery of the law of 3 is the secret to professional greatness. One of the best ways to overcome procrastination is to have everything you need ready before you start. Clear your workspace so that only your most important task is sitting in front of you. When your environment is organized and you have all your tools at hand, you feel more confident and prepared. This physical preparation reduces the friction that often prevents us from starting a difficult job. It is like a chef preparing mise en place before they begin cooking a meal. Having all the necessary information, reports, and materials nearby prevents you from having to get up and get distracted. A clean, professional workspace also triggers a more disciplined mental state. Take the time to create a comfortable work environment with good lighting and a supportive chair. The more prepared you feel, the more likely you are to dive in and start eating that frog. Total preparation is a great motivator and a sign of a professional. By removing these minor obstacles, you pave the way for deep focus and high-speed execution. You can accomplish the biggest and most complicated task if you just take it one step at a time. Tracy uses the metaphor of crossing the Sahara Desert by following oil barrels placed at intervals. Instead of looking at the massive project as a whole, focus only on the next immediate step. By focusing on the next oil barrel, you prevent yourself from feeling overwhelmed by the enormity of the job. Your goal is to get started and finish the first small part of the task. Once that is done, the next step will reveal itself, and you can move forward again. This method builds momentum and keeps your mind focused on the present moment. Most people procrastinate because they see the whole frog, and it looks too big to swallow. By breaking it into bite-sized pieces, you make the process manageable and less intimidating. Just do as much as you can see right now, and you will soon see further. Trust the process of incremental progress to lead you to the finish line. One barrel at a time, you can reach any destination. The more skilled you are at a task, the more motivated you feel to do it, and the less you will procrastinate. Professional growth is a requirement for high productivity. You must never stop learning. Identify the key skills that are essential for your top tasks and commit to becoming an expert in them. Read for at least an hour every day in your field to keep your knowledge current and sharp. Listen to educational audio programs during your commute to turn driving time into learning time. Attend seminars and workshops to pick up the latest techniques and insights from experts. Continuous learning increases your confidence and makes difficult tasks feel easier to tackle. The sense of mastery you gain from being highly skilled is a powerful antidote to procrastination. Your earning power is directly related to your ability to get results, and results come from skill. Dedicate yourself to becoming a do-it-to-yourself project for personal and professional improvement. The better you get at your craft, the faster you will eat your frogs. You are a unique individual with specific talents and abilities that set you apart from everyone else. You should identify exactly what you are naturally good at and focus your career on those areas. Ask yourself, what is it that I do easily that is difficult for others? These special talents are your greatest assets for high-value production. When you work in your area of strength, you are more creative, energetic, and productive. You should spend as much time as possible doing the things you are uniquely qualified to do. If you are doing something you enjoy and excel at, you are much less likely to procrastinate. Focus your energy on those tasks where you can make a significant contribution. Delegate or outsource tasks that you are poor at or that drain your energy. High achievers understand their unique brilliance and organize their lives around it. By leveraging your special talents, you increase the speed and quality of your work. Your best frogs are usually the ones that allow you to shine. In every process, there is a bottleneck or constraint that determines the speed at which you achieve your goal. You must ask yourself, what is the one thing that is holding me back from achieving my goal? Usually, 80% of constraints are internal, meaning they exist within yourself or your organization. Only 20% are external, like market conditions or competition. Be honest with yourself about your own weaknesses or lack of skills that might be slowing you down. Identifying the choke point allows you to focus all your energy on removing that single obstacle. Once you clear the main constraint, your progress will accelerate dramatically. Often, the constraint is a person, a resource, or a specific process that needs fixing. Don't waste time trying to fix minor problems while the major constraint remains. Focus on the one factor that will make the most difference if it is resolved. Removing bottlenecks is a key skill of successful managers and highly productive people. This analytical approach simplifies your path to success. Only about 2% of people can work entirely without supervision. These are the leaders. To be successful, you must become your own slave driver and set higher standards for yourself than anyone else would. Don't wait for someone else to tell you what to do or when to do it. Set your own deadlines and sub-deadlines for every task and treat them as sacred. Create a sense of urgency in everything you do to build the habit of fast action. Imagine that you have to leave town tomorrow for a month and must finish all your work today. This mental exercise forces you to focus on your most important tasks immediately. By putting pressure on yourself, you build the character and discipline required for long-term success. Successful people lead themselves by setting clear expectations and following through. You feel much better about yourself when you are in control of your work and ahead of your deadlines. Self-discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Be the master of your own time and your own destiny. Your physical, mental, and emotional energy levels are the raw materials of your productivity. You must protect and nurture your energy to perform at your best. This means getting enough sleep so that you wake up refreshed and ready to tackle the day. Eat high-quality, nutritious food that provides sustained energy rather than sugar crashes. Regular exercise is also essential to maintain your stamina and clear your mind. Identify the times of day when you are most alert and productive and schedule your biggest frogs for those windows. For most people, this is early in the morning, while others are night owls. When you are tired or burn out, your productivity drops significantly, and you are more likely to procrastinate. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is go home early and get a full night's rest. Take at least one full day off every week to recharge your batteries completely. By managing your energy rather than just your time, you increase your capacity for high-level work. A healthy body supports a sharp and focused mind. You are the primary influence on your own emotions and productivity. To stay motivated, you must practice positive self-talk and maintain an optimistic outlook. Most of your emotions are determined by how you talk to yourself throughout the day. Instead of focusing on problems, look for the seed of an equivalent benefit in every setback. Be your own cheerleader and constantly encourage yourself to move forward. Develop a can-do attitude and refuse to let negative thoughts or people drain your energy. Your mindset determines your reality, so choose to see yourself as a high achiever. When you experience a difficulty, ask yourself what you can learn from it rather than who is to blame. High levels of self-esteem are closely linked to high levels of productivity. By focusing on solutions rather than problems, you maintain your momentum and creativity. Keep your mind focused on your goals and the person you want to become. Your internal dialogue is the steering wheel of your life. Technology can be a great servant, but a terrible master if you allow it to distract you. To be productive, you must learn to disconnect from the constant stream of emails, notifications, and social media. The fear of missing out often drives us to check our devices hundreds of times a day, which destroys our ability to focus. Schedule specific times to check your messages rather than being constantly interrupted. Turn off all notifications on your phone and computer to protect your concentration. When you are working on a big frog, you should be completely offline to ensure deep work. Technology should be used to speed up your work, not to provide an endless source of entertainment and distraction. Discipline yourself to use your tools intentionally rather than habitually. Learn to sit in silence, sometimes to allow your mind to process information and generate new ideas. Reclaim your time by setting clear boundaries with your digital life. Mastery of your technology is essential for modern productivity. Large, complex tasks can be made manageable by using techniques like the salami slice or Swiss cheese methods. The salami slice method involves breaking a task into tiny, specific steps and doing just one slice at a time. Once you start one small part of the job, you often find the motivation to do another slice. The Swiss cheese method involves working on a task for a specific, short block of time, like 5 or 10 minutes. During this time, you just poke a hole in the project by doing some small amount of work. Both methods are designed to overcome the initial resistance we feel toward a daunting task. The secret is to lower the barrier to entry so that starting becomes easy. Most of the stress of a large project comes from not having started it yet. Once you are in motion, it is much easier to keep going. Action is the ultimate cure for the fear of a large task. By slicing and dicing your frogs, you make them much more appetizing. Just get started on one small piece right now. Most important tasks require large, uninterrupted blocks of time to complete successfully. You should schedule 30, 60, or 90-minute periods where you can work with total concentration. This, deep work, is where high-value results are created. Use a planner to book these time slots as if they were appointments with a client. During these blocks, eliminate all distractions. Close your door, turn off your phone, and focus solely on the task at hand. You will find that you can get more done in 1 hour of focused work than in 3 hours of interrupted work. Many high achievers start their day early to take advantage of quiet time before the rest of the world wakes up. Breaking your day into distinct segments for different types of work increases your efficiency. Use your transitional time, like travel or waiting, to handle smaller tasks so that your main blocks remain pure. Consistently creating these chunks of time allows you to make significant progress on your most important projects. Focus is the key to quality and speed. Highly productive people move fast and have a bias for action. Developing a sense of urgency means that you have an inner drive to get the job done quickly and well. When you work with speed, you trigger the flow state where you are more creative and efficient. This fast pace allows you to accomplish much more in a shorter period of time. People who move quickly are perceived as being more competent and valuable in the workplace. Don't spend too much time overanalyzing. Instead, take the first step and adjust as you go. Developing a reputation for speed and dependability will open up many opportunities in your career. Use the mantra, "Do it now," to keep yourself moving whenever you feel the urge to slow down. The faster you move, the more energy you seem to have. A sense of urgency is a habit that can be developed through practice. It keeps you ahead of the competition and gives you a sense of power over your life. Start moving today and never look back. Single handling is the ability to start a task and stay with it until it is 100% complete. This is perhaps the most powerful of all productivity techniques. Every time you stop and start a task, you lose momentum and waste time getting back up to speed. Research shows that switching between tasks can increase the time required to finish them by up to 500%. By refusing to put a task down until it is done, you force yourself to be disciplined and focused. This habit saves an enormous amount of time and mental energy. It gives you a great sense of satisfaction and pride to see a major job finished. Once you have started your one task, don't allow anything to distract you from it. The more you practice single handling, the more it becomes your natural way of working. It is the hallmark of the most successful and highest paid people in every field. Complete your frog entirely before you move on to anything else. This final discipline brings all the other 20 principles together for ultimate success.